After fuelling up and buying burgers for lunch at the Warburton Roadhouse, we made our way onto the Connie Sue Highway. This end of the Connie Sue appeared to be much less used than the other roads we had travelled, and a side track to a water point led us off the road. After travelling parallel to the Connie Sue for a few kilometres, we ended up at a dead end and had to backtrack. After that, we used the offline Wikicamps mats more heavily in order to stay on the right roads. We camped at Harkness Gorge the first night, where there was enough brush to provide some protection from the wind, and also a great view if you walked out to the edge of the gorge. The landscape at this end of the Connie Sue is very different to the southern end, with many gorges and breakaways. Some areas have been closed off, however those that remain open are well worth stopping and checking out. The first couple of days on the road were quite windy, which made getting out of the car to look around very unpleasant. Some areas, like Mackenzie Gorge, are right on the side of the road, making it easy to see. We took a small side trip in to see the Hahn Tabletop Mountain. The track was very washed out. We'll let you enjoy it. We had planned to climb Mount Hahn and have our lunch here, but it was so windy that we ate in the car and then left. We had also planned to visit Sykes Bluff, however the track was very overgrown, with white ant nests sitting at some height in the middle of the track, so we gave that one a miss too. As the day moved on, we had to make a choice between Point Sandercock and Point Lillian. We poured through all the reviews on Wikicamps and eventually decided to camp at Point Lillian. We drove around for quite a while trying to find a spot out of the wind. There were many great spots, but all too exposed for the conditions. Finally, we decided to go back up the track to a patch of bush to camp and explore Point Lillian in the morning with the hopes that the wind may have dropped by then. In the morning, with the wind gone, we decided to explore the valleys of Point Lillian. The little gullies were amazing little worlds of their own, with large old gnarled trees, rock formations and other treasures if you looked in the right place. We spent a few hours wandering here. After leaving Point Lillian, the track was better defined the further south we headed, with plenty of sidetracks around washed out sections. The countryside quickly changed. Large sand ridges had started to appear, and the vastness of the swales and their slow recovery from a fire was obvious when we put the drone up. The sand ridges brought with them the beautiful pale purple flowered covered bushes. Each ridge provided another fabulous desert vista, and although we used more fuel on the sand, it was sad to leave the dunes behind as we approached Neale Junction. We arrived at Neale Junction around lunchtime and decided to set up camp early to take advantage of the warm, windless day and to have a shower and relax. While waiting for the water to boil, we looked up to find a camel just a few metres in front of us. He was as shocked as we were and ran back the way he'd come. As the evening came around, another couple set up camp nearby, the first vehicle we'd seen on the track, not counting Warburton itself, since leaving Carnegie Station. Next we travel along the Len Beadell Highway to Warburton, but more on that next week.